Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's call. This is the live broadcast of the Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective for February 17th, 2019. My name is Kaia Ra, and I am the best-selling author of the Sophia Code. I am the oracle for an Ascended Master High Council on the sovereign divinity of humanity, and they call themselves the Sophia Dragon Tribe. I also lead an international modern mystery school movement and am a spokesperson for Divine Feminine Christ Consciousness. However, you have found your way to this recording, to this night's live broadcast, I want you to know that I consider it a great honor and privilege to be able to pray with you this evening, to meditate with you this evening, to step into that sanctuary space of Sophia Christ Consciousness where we remember where our true power is resourced from, where we remember together collectively for an entire hour the direct path to embodying a peace that passes all understanding, and to accessing a joy and a love that's unconditional in its nature, because that's the truth of our divinity. It's unconditional love, it's unconditional joy, it's unconditional peace, and it's unconditional abundance. It's also an unconditional and ever-present communion. And this evening we have a very special prayer call because I have been guided by Green Tara, White Buffalo Woman, and Isis through my dream space last night. I was on the road for business last night, and I had a lot of animal spirits come to me in my dream space last night and in my drive back to where I'm broadcasting this call tonight. And as many of you know, in my channeling work, I'm not limited to what realms that I have access to channel, but professionally, I had to make a choice at the beginning of when I first decided to release the codex that I was going to focus primarily on the Ascended Masters and the Archangels for many years, to build this platform in such a way that it would eventually open up to give voice as well to the other masters that walk this planet alongside us, the animals, different angelic orders, including the star nations. So it was a big decision for me to have to pick a realm, shall we say, to focus primarily on. It wasn't exactly an easy choice because I am so connected to the animal kingdom. I don't honestly know in being in a human body where we end and they begin, because, and the same with the earth, because our human bodies are genetically constructed with the same elements that create the animals' bodies and that create this planet's body, Sophia Gaia. And their wisdom is so, the different nations of animals in First Nation prayer circles, for those of you who aren't familiar with that term, it's in Native American medicine teachings, every animal species is considered its own nation. And you could even think about that in terms of subspecies. So that's how much respect that the First Nations peoples had for animal medicine and animal wisdom. Animals' bodies do not lie, and our human bodies were designed to be the same kind of truth calibrators in this world. If you look at nature, if you look at the beautiful original design of Sophia Gaia's body, the planet, your body and the bodies of animals are a reflection of that authentic truth. It takes our ego structure, it takes conditioning and programming from the ego structure to supersede your body's wisdom and supersede your body's truth and cause for you to act against the truth of your body. It actually takes quite a lot of effort. And that's when we start to see depression, depression and rage and even suicides against our bodies, because it takes that much energy and strength to overcome the natural wisdom that's just built into your body. And as many of you know, because I am so in tune with the planet and the ecosystem and the different animal kingdoms, I've recently been speaking out against and just advocating for the awareness that there's a massive agenda of geoengineering and weather modification that's happening across this planet. And it's affecting not just our human bodies, but it's affecting all of the animals. I hear the animals speak about it wherever I go. I hear their confusion. I hear them wondering why we would want to do this to them and to this beautiful earth that they care so much about. And so this evening, in tonight's channeling, we are invoking Green Tara specifically as our overriding mentor for this prayer transmission, because in the Sophia Code, we meet her as a mentor whose key code 3, she of 1,000 stars. Her key code in particular is connected to the shamanic indigenous rites of the Tibetan Buddhism, as well as her appearance in other indigenous cultures across the world, such as Star Woman here on the North American continent. And her particular transmission guides us to understand our deep, deep relationship with all of our relations on this planet, as well as our direct mentorship with this planet, how much this planet is teaching us about divine feminine Christ consciousness, our willingness to be fully embodied, to listen to our feelings, to listen to what is an organic, natural cycle of growth in our ascension path of learning. And there's just so much to really reflect upon based on how perfect Sophia Gaia replicates herself, how perfectly she creates harmony for all species to live with one another, and to be supported by one another. We have so much to learn from that consciousness. And the message, one of the messages that was coming through from Hawk tonight from me, because today I saw not just once, but I saw 4 red-tailed hawks as I was driving across the landscape today of my journeys. And I've honestly, I used to see hawks all the time. And as many of you might have guessed, the geoengineering is it's wiping out species all over the planet, including the birds. About half of the insect population is now gone, and the birds many of those birds live off of insects, including the raptors that live off the smaller birds that live off the insects. So I was actually really surprised to see 4 red-tailed hawks today. But at the same time, by the time I saw the second one, I realized, okay, this is about tonight's prayer call. And the animals really want to speak this evening on behalf of our shared journey in the ascension of this planet and in our own journey as light workers. The red-tailed hawk had a message for us today that I'm going to share with you right now. And the message is that you cannot allow these dark agendas to separate you from your relationship with animals and your relationship with the planet. All of the animals understand you're a sensitive light worker, you're a sensitive earth angel, and you can feel how confusing and painful it is for all of us to be going through this very strange learning experience of remembering about the power of our divine feminine and divine masculine Christ light through the suffering of all beings here on this planet. At this moment, we're experiencing a very polarized, and the pun intended when I use the word polarized, as far as some of that programming that's been being put out about the polar vortex shift and all of that nonsense. It's all been chemically induced. There's nothing natural about these weather patterns that we're experiencing all over the world that's affecting species everywhere. And we're learning about through this incredible polarized dualistic experience of suffering on a mass scale. What we're learning about is how to resource our light, the light of our sovereign divinity, and to be the peace that passeth all understanding amidst so much chaos on this planet right now. To not only be the peace of that light, but also be the authentic truth, the authentic divine love, the hope, and to be praying on behalf of all beings for as many people and as much of this planet to pass through this dark passage intact. You know, between now and 2020, we're on a very intense journey. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that in the least. I can't sugarcoat it anymore. There's no reason to sugarcoat it. Everybody can feel it. Every day we wake up, we can feel it. It's intense. But it's not just intense for you. It's intense for all of the animals as well on this planet. Every single species is fighting for their lives as well, amidst so much toxicity, chemical warfare, and just general overall insanity of a war addicted, rape addicted, annihilation addicted ego structure in the collective consciousness of humanity. So when we're looking at a planetary ascension journey of that scope, we always turn to Green Tara, because Green Tara went through the same journey in the Sirian star system. She was a pioneering divine feminine Christ leader in the Sirius star nation for her planet Karnak, when Karnak was going through these very similar war-torn, annihilation, consciousness-torn journeys through their own decision to choose the truth of divine will, and the highest road of coming into alignment with divine will, surrendering their free will into that. And you know, it can go, a species can spend eons awakening to what that means. It's a very big deal to guide the collective consciousness of an entire species through the melting down of its ego structure so that it can actually embrace the truth of its divinity and come into alignment with a larger scope of a divine will that seeks to prosper all. And that's Sophia's consciousness. Our Holy Mother and our Holy Father don't want for any of us to suffer in this way. But we have all chosen in our free will to experience what it would be like to go through an illusionary separation from that consciousness, to then awaken to the truth that we have never been separate from that consciousness. It's such the good news. And that further, we could never be separated from that consciousness within us, because we are that consciousness. So the animal nations here on this planet are in this journey with us. Many of them are very, very advanced beings that are actually helping to broadcast the light of Sophia side by side with us as earth angels themselves. Earth angels are not exclusive to human beings. Earth angels can come in any form into this planetary matrix, and in any size. So, you know, this is why for years you've heard me pray about giving thanks to all of our angels and all of their forms, because I consider any being that is actively working for the grace of Sophia to be felt on this planet an earth angel. And I'm pretty sure if you're on this call that you do too. So we have a lineup of special animal medicines that want to speak tonight with Green Tara as our overlighting mentor for this sanctuary space. And I'm just really excited about that. My beautiful co-teacher here, Rue, as many of you have gotten to know Rue through the Facebook Lives and curriculum, she's right here with us. She's going to be a part of this channeling as well. And I invite you that if you have any animals in your homes, to bring them into tonight's transmission as well. Any of your animal companions, or any of the animal companions that you've walked with earlier in your life. Maybe they've crossed over, but they're still working with you as spirit guides. As Green Tara talks about, this is an interstellar mission. The Sophia Code represents an interstellar divine feminine and divine masculine Christ movement for us to move and return and reconcile back with a consciousness that can reconcile us with our greatest healing and our greatest empowerment. That is not exclusive to being just human. That includes all beings. The liberation of all beings. And it opens up our perception to understand how precious all of life is. Yes, every human being is absolutely the most precious, but so is every animal, so is every insect, so is every soul in every form across this multiverse that is seeking for you to be honored and loved, just the way that Sophia wanted you to feel honored and loved, that you're learning how to accept now for yourself. So at this time, let's bring in our key code mentors to really anchor this Sophia space. And just prior to that, I'm just going to read this one passage. Megan read it at the beginning of the call, but we've got a lot more people on this call now. So I'm going to turn to page 127 of the Sophia Code, and you're welcome to read this passage out loud with me if you'd like to read this out loud. We're going to read this passage, then we're going to do our invocation, and then we're going to begin with our animal messages and healings, animal healing, medicine healings for this evening. Page 127 from the Sophia Code. This is a passage from Green Tara, who is key code 3 of the Sophia Code, she of 1,000 stars. And in this passage, we're going to paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4. Paragraph 4. Tara is sharing about how we came to Earth to learn directly from the consciousness of Mother Earth, which we've named her Sophia Gaia in this codex, and what it's like to be completely immersed inside the body of a Christed being, because that's what's happening here. You might have been immersed in your mother's consciousness when you were in her womb, but then you came out of that body into an even larger consciousness, which is your Mother Earth. So paragraph 4, those magnetized to my Green Tara practices have a relationship with nature as a living intelligence that informs their consciousness. My initiates know that animals speak and teach through telepathy. Those embodying my teachings are drawn to indigenous practices that honor the elemental devas and guardian spirits, tending to the natural balance of Sophia Gaia's countless ecosystems. Honoring this bridge of eco-communion naturally arises within the hearts of my initiates. Therefore, those drawn to mentor with me often have a strong inclination to shamanic practices that include rituals, ceremony, divination, offerings, altars, and consecrations. Your planet is a highly sought-after academy for environmental ascension studies. Lightworkers from across the universe apply for the great honor to study planetary eco-ascension templates within the body of Sophia Gaia. So I'm going to stop there, and we're going to open with our invocation. Holy Mother, Sophia, Holy Father, Sophia God, Creatrix, Creator of all life. Thank you for this opportunity to pray with so many earth angels around the world, our beautiful international community that you have woven together through the heart of your consciousness. Holy Mother Sophia, we welcome the higher self of every individual present who now begin to descend over their human body as a baptism, a cellular soul baptism of the highest order. I welcome the Sophia Dragon Tribe surrounding every single person on this call with their blessings, with their light, with their resonant field of Sophia Christ consciousness. Thousands upon thousands of angelic orders and ascended masters who deeply care about our innate sovereign divinity. Holy Mother, Sophia, Creatrix of all life, I call for your Shekinah light to descend over each and every one of us, to refresh us, to regenerate us for the duration of this call. I lift up to you the hearts and minds on this phone call who may be suffering today in any way as they grow and their own eco-ascension studies within this planetary matrix, within their community, with their families, with their clients, with their children, with their animals, all it is near and dear to every person in this call. We welcome your blessing to fall fresh upon each and every one of us. We lift up our wings and we ask for you to bless our wings, both blessing us from within our own hearts because you exist within us, Holy Mother, Holy Father God, and to feel your blessings radiating out from our own hearts and up through our wing structures and down our column of chakras. May your Sophia light flood our bone marrow, begin to fill our bloodstream. May your holy light begin to flip on the switches of our divine genome and integrate our higher self's light even more beautifully with our human bodies. We also call for this blessing for each and every animal that's listening on this call. Each and every animal across this world that wants to feel your blessed holy light, filling them and regenerating them with hope and peace and power. At this time, I call forth a circle of divine feminine Christ empowerment and protection around each and every caller that's listening to this broadcast, both live and on the replay. I call forth and welcome beautiful white buffalo women in the north and the white buffalo star nation, some of who have actually incarnated here on earth now as the white buffalo herd on earth, as the answer to white buffalo woman's prophecy that she spoke hundreds of years ago, that the white buffalo would appear at this time as living angels on earth. Welcoming in this beautiful presence of white buffalo woman with her sacred shanupa, her many medicine bundles, and these beautiful, prolific beings, the white buffalo star nation. We welcome Isis, Saint Germain in the northeast, and with them comes the Syrian white lion tribe, giving thanks for the white lions and all of the great cats that are arriving in the northeast with Isis, including the spirit of Jaguar, cheetah, the clouded leopards, the snow leopards, mountain lion, all of the great cats who are the ancestors to all of our mighty home companions in all of their forms. We give thanks for the arrival of Hathor, Key Code 2 of the Sophia Code in the east, in the Hathor Star Nation. In the east, I also give a welcome to the spirit of eagle and the spirit of hawk, arriving in the east as messengers of the divine. In the southeast, I welcome our overlighting mentor for today's prayer call, Green Tara. I also welcome all of the manifestations of Tara's embodiment as the mother of all Buddhas. I welcome also the 21 emanations, as well as her order of Dakinis, her angelic order. I'm also giving thanks that Lord Buddha is arriving in the southeast with Green Tara. Lord Buddha came to me last night and brought a great peace to my body, which I very much needed. And so I'm welcoming in beautiful Buddha as a divine masculine counterpart here for this evening's transmission. In the south, I'm welcoming beautiful Mother Mary, she of 1,000 roses, Key Code 4 of the Sophia Code. You may begin to witness or feel rose petals descending from the sky all around you. And you may smell or feel rose oil being anointed over you as Mother Mary appears in the south. Mother Mary is arriving with the spirit of swan, the spirit of coyote. Both are totems for the inner child. I'm also seeing the spirit of unicorn. Unicorns did walk the earth at another time in our history. And they are arriving in the south as guardians of our innocence. In the southwest, I give thanks for Mary Magdalene's arrival with Ascended Master Jesus and the entire order of Magdalena. I'm also welcoming all of the archangels. And I'm also seeing Archangel Ariel arriving, who's an archangel of water. I'm seeing angelic orders of the elements arriving in the southwest. Archangels that oversee entire sections of the planet, the health, they're arriving as well. This is a really big prayer call. And actually some of the fairy nations and elven nations whose responsibility is to take care of the Earth's planetary matrix, and some of the inner Earth civilizations, such as beings from Telos arriving in the south, west, as well as the west. I'm also witnessing Kuan Yin arriving now with Mahavatar Babaji. Kuan Yin is arriving with the spirit of peacock, the spirit of crane, and the spirit of whale in the west. In the northwest, I'm noticing, even before the Sophia dragons arrive, that the spirit of grandmother spider is here in the northwest. And the spirit of the order of sky grandmothers have also arrived, of course, who are part of White Buffalo Woman's Key Code 7 transmission. Witnessing the thunder beings arriving with the Sophia dragons, along with the spirit of horse. And at this time, I call forth all of these beautifully invoked beings to be, all of us to raise up as a community all the way in our consciousness to the 7th plane. Although we maintain the holographic imagery of ourselves in our minds, we lift that imagery up into the 7th plane where instantaneous miracles and divine knowing exist. Where is the 7th plane? Well, it's far beyond the worlds of form. It's back to that one light and that one womb of Sophia God, from which we all arose from. In this space, we are beyond the laws of form that govern this planet. Therefore, we can command miracles for this planet in an unobstructed way. And there are many, many angels guiding your consciousness to just simply go up within you to connect with your crown chakra and beyond. And Green Tara is stepping forward from the High Council. We are now within the Temple of Sophia, within the 7th plane, and she's activating your crown chakra. And as she does this, there's so many of you have been working in a new way with your star families. And what does star family mean for those of you who are new on this call? Connecting with your Star Nation family means that you are connecting with those souls that you have traveled with across space and time that might not be native to this planet. And ironically, a lot of the First Nations, those who are considered indigenous to different continents on this planet, they knew that they had a direct connection to the Star Nations. It's weaved into so many ceremonial practices. So feeling those lineage threads all the way through White Buffalo Woman, through Green Tara, even through Hathor and Isis, really connecting you to your Star Nation families that are joining us in the ceremony. So each of us has a prayer. Clearly, as you can feel through this invocation, our prayer is so much bigger than just our personal prayer for our personal evolution. And that doesn't minimize our personal evolution prayer. It just means that there's a whole lot more going on than just your own private life as to why you came to this planet to be an earth angel here. For those of you on this call, you came here with an earth angel mission, which was to be a protector, a nurturer, and an advocate for this earth. An advocate for all species, not just for the advocacy of humanity. And very often, light workers can feel overwhelmed when they see the scope of why we came here. But what I'd like to encourage you to remember in this space of peace is the prayer that is praying you, as I often talk about. Sophia is praying this prayer in such an immaculate, omniscient way that the beauty is that the multidimensionality of your personal life is directly interwoven with the grand cosmic divine plan for the liberation of all beings, both on this planet and others. So when you are lovingly focused upon your healing, your personal happiness, and following through on your divine purpose, you naturally become interwoven with this prayer that is praying you and perfectly into the fabric of the liberation of all beings. You don't have to try to make that happen. It already happens. When we all step into that alignment with being responsible and sober to our divine creative power, that's when we start to get into that amazing promise that we can create heaven on earth, which Green Tara initiates our awareness into in the Sophia Code. She guides us in our understanding that it is absolutely safe to create heaven on earth. The more healing, the more regenerated, the more abundant, the more prosperous, the more free you feel in this life and embody those truths, the more freedom comes to all beings. And so Green Tara is now blessing your heart, the front of your heart and the back of your heart, your womb space. You're probably going to feel a lot of emerald energy in these centers. You may even feel her cosmic laughter, for she is so delighted to connect with you in this way. And as you feel Green Tara's activations washing over you, you may begin to feel that tree of life that is within you. And what is the tree of life within you? Is your neurological pathways. All of the branches of your neurons whose arms reach out from your spinal cord across the landscape of your human body. You are literally a walking tree of life. And Green Tara is welcoming you to grow those branches all the way out to feel your very powerful connection with all the trees on this planet, and that all directly link into a network with the consciousness of Sophia Gaia. So we invoke that incredible overlighting consciousness of Sophia Gaia now through the Key Code 3 transmission of Green Tara. And what's really important is for you to reconnect with Sophia Gaia right now. I know you may feel confused about that or unconsciously nervous about that because of so many weird atrocities that are happening to this planet's ecosphere right now. But you must connect to Sophia Gaia, because Red Tail Hawk's message today is that part of these dark agendas, part of their goal is to herd you into cities and into concrete structures and boxes filled with microwave radiation so that you can no longer feel your connection to the earth. You must understand that a great part of your power, your physical human power, the power to regenerate and the power to manifest and create on this earth plane is connected to your dialogue with the earth. No matter what's happening to the earth, she is a truly almighty divine feminine Christ being. And she loves you so much. So don't tune into the weird things that are going on that will eventually all be reconciled for, and we'll all be healed one day. All of it will be reset. Connect with the consciousness of the Mother Earth that's so strong, she can still be thriving amidst that. Feel her arms, her heart embracing you and thanking you for coming to this planet as an earth angel. It's really important that you're not ashamed of being here because of how crazy most of humanity is. You can't take on earth angels. You can't take on the shame of bad behavior. That's simply not your bad behavior. You can still do your part without taking on the responsibility of all the bad behavior of certain people in power. It's a very small % of people in power that are responsible for the tragedies we're seeing. It's not you. Don't take that on. It's not going to serve your mission. So as you connect with Sophia Gaia, it's like putting a socket into the an electrical plug into a socket. Feel yourself getting lit back up. And as you feel yourself getting lit back up, allow your body, heart, and mind to drink deeply of Sophia Gaia's consciousness. It's actually quite golden in nature. It's this golden ray of the golden ray is connected to the master teachers. That's why we call it someone a golden dragon teacher, like Tara in this cosmology. That golden ray can only come from a golden ray of wisdom can only come through embodied wisdom. It can only come from the wisdom gained through the journey of form. And Sophia Gaia, in her form as Mother Earth, has gone and seen it all for eons, and she will continue beyond this chapter in her service to all beings, far beyond. Feel that golden consciousness filling you up and regenerating you, filling your tree of life. Notice how confident she is in your presence here. If you have felt disconnected from beautiful Sophia Gaia for some time, and maybe because of your sensitivities, and any guilt is arising because you're just now noticing, oh my gosh, I haven't been as connected to Mother Earth as I probably could have been, just allow her waters, including Kuan Yin's waters of compassion, to flow over you. Just let it go, angel, and get back into the saddle of your communion with Mother Earth. Feel her waves of divine love washing over you. Feel how your bone marrow may feel more electrified with this communion with Mother Earth. She's also saying that in your journey with her, you're going to feel like as you deepen in your communion with her every day, you're going to feel more connected to all of your Earth Angel family around the world, as well as your Star Nation family. I think a lot of people think that to connect to your Star Nation family, it's easier if you move your consciousness off the Earth. No, it's actually easier to go as deep as you can in your communion with the Earth, which will keep you very grounded and integrated as you connect to your star families that exist in a much higher dimensional reality. The truth is Sophia Gaia is a Star Nation being herself, spinning in the multiverse. It's just our perception that localizes hers to something outside of a Star Nation. And so, speaking of perception, the spirit of Jaguar is here now. And for those of you who are afraid of feline or cat medicine, what that's an indication of is that you're working through fears that you may have about divine feminine Christ power, primordial power, which does not apologize for its power in the least, for its ferocity, for its purity, for its boundaries, for its ability to protect what is most precious to it. We could learn a lot from that right now. And that's why you're here. You wouldn't have come to protect the Earth with your consciousness, with your loving presence, unless the Earth was precious to you. You wouldn't have gone through all of that effort unless this planet meant something to you on a very deep level. And so Jaguar is encircling you. She's sniffing you out for the fears that you may have about being in full acceptance of your divine feminine Christ power, or your divine masculine Christ power. If you don't identify with either, but with both, with all of the principles are coming from the same place. And the bottom line is the word power. So many of us fear the word power because we see what people that currently are making decisions about how this planet is being abused. We see people in power and we make the erroneous association that power means to harm. But as Machiavelli teaches us, power is just power. It's just power. Just like free will is just free will. You can either use it for something that benefits all beings and liberates all beings, or you could use it to try to crush all beings and destroy all beings. And so Jaguar is encircling you at this time, and you may feel the weight of its paws. Jaguar is just, it's one of the largest big cats on the planet. The only thing larger than jaguar is the lions or the tiger. So this, in South America, the black jaguar, otherwise known as the puma, is a very strong shamanic symbol of, well, first of all, it's a symbol associated with shamans, but it's also a very, just in general, medicine symbol of really going deep with your ability to see beyond the veils, to step into your multidimensional power. So as an earth angel, Jaguar is initiating your consciousness to no longer be afraid of what you can see that's going on here on this planet. It's okay for you to see what you're seeing and still stay in your brilliance. It's okay to be able to identify both the dark and light spectrum that is playing out these stories of persecution and victimhood and redemption. It's okay to see them clearly and to call them out for what they are. It's okay for you to identify the places that you are still working through your own journey with victimhood, and to step into your power in fierce ways that move you beyond those patterns of victimhood. You don't have to have your whole ascension journey figured out all at once. It's not even possible. As I shared in the beginning of this call, your personal journey is directly linked to the collective journey of what we're healing and reconciling and empowering ourselves through. It's not about being perfect, it's about being perfectly you, as I teach in the Year 2 curriculum. But with that said, what it does mean is taking responsibility, taking the joyful responsibility of the get to of your life. How are you going to be in your power, in your creative power, in your power with boundaries that are important for you, in your power with going after opportunities that are important for you, in your power of being humble and powerful enough to identify the networks that are of opportunity and connection and communities that are most in alignment with where you're at in this chapter of your life. To be in your power like a jaguar, to understand, yep, I've been serving certain communities or clients for a certain amount of time, and as an earth angel, I've seen I can only go so far with this particular group. It's time for me to be brave enough to move forward and expand my wings and allow myself to become a bigger person. You know, where you're working with big cat medicine, they just simply do not apologize for how big they are. Can you imagine a lion or a lioness or a jaguar hunting their prey, and then, you know, wondering after they caught their prey if they did it good enough, if they hunted perfectly enough? You know, it's like if they had caught the right thing for their cubs, it's just like, no way. They're just stoked on who they are. They're just absolutely so, they just feel so happy and blessed and proud, truly proud of what they accomplish in any moment of every day. And that big cat medicine, both from Jaguar and the Syrian white lions, all of the big cats are flowing to you right now saying, hey, be proud of who you are, Earth Angel. You came here as an emissary of light. You came here as a warrior or warrioress of light. You came here as an embodiment of grace, of Sophia Christ consciousness for this planet. You hold your head high, keep your wings up, open your heart to the blessings that you deserve for being such a way shower at this time. And take pride in your direct connection with the earth. I'm hearing from these beautiful feline tribes, nations. So often being connected to the earth is either respected if it's some sort of truly deep, authentic shamanic lineage, or it's made fun of in some sort of hippie context. It's just like, it doesn't have to be one extreme or the other. Your relationship with the earth is sacred, no matter how you're expressing it. If it's something as simple as, I love to walk in nature and give thanks for how beautiful it is today, that's part of your spirituality. If it's, I can hear animals speak and I'm sharing those messages with those who are ready to hear them, that can be your spiritual practice. If it does go as deep as working with specific indigenous medicines, with the animal medicines, okay, it's going there. But do you see, it's all of those, that you go up and down the scale, it all comes back to one word, and that word is communion. And if there's one lineage on this planet that deeply embodies communion, it was the original teachings of Bon Tibetan Buddhism, which was actually, Bon was the Tibetan shamanic lineage that merged with Buddhism when Buddhism arose in Tibet, came to Tibet. So green Tara is blessing your inner eyes and your inner ears to begin to perceive and think more clearly about your relationship with the earth and the animals as your allies, as angels in their form. Allies for your earth angel mission. I'm feeling the spirit of elephant coming in at this time. And as they arrive, they are lifting, I almost wanted to say their horns, but it was like a trumpet, like they're raising their trunks and sounding the horns of their arrival. So many of them are arriving. Oh my God, I'm sort of like, almost makes me want to cry. They're some of Sophia's most beautiful creatures on this planet. And the elephants are asking each and every one of us to stay strong, to not give up. And they are embracing you. They're bringing their children to you. And they're one of the reasons why baby elephants will go crazy when they're separated from their herd is because they are constantly being touched by all the members of their family to assure them that they are safe and they are connected to their community. So the elephants are asking us to feel their touch across the heart waves, to feel them touching different parts of your body so that you can feel connected to your earth angel community here on this planet, to them, to your star family. They are bringing the medicine of community to you. So for those of you who feel isolated right now as earth angels, this transmission in particular is for you from the elephant tribe. And they're reminding you that that this year, especially in 2019, it's important to be in connection and communion and surrounded by loved ones, people who are of like mind. Doesn't mean you have to give up your friends or family members that don't understand you, but they're saying, don't waste your time, don't waste your breath trying to explain things that don't make sense to those people. Just love them for who they are. And make sure that you go and fill yourself up with being around people in community that do get who you are. See the difference? You don't have to make the people in your life who don't get you wrong. You can just love them for who they are unconditionally, but don't make yourself wrong. Make sure you're being held and supported in a community of other earth angels, including the angels in animal forms that really get you. Feeling the presence of these incredible elephant spirits surrounding you with their grace, helping you overcome the obstacles within for stepping even more into what you are worthy to receive this year. You are worthy of being in a community of like-minded earth angels who deeply care about you. Being seen, being held, and co-creating your heaven on earth. It's safe, as Green Tara teaches us. It is safe to co-create with others your heaven on earth if those others are resourced, self-resourced, they're working on their inner work, they are truly humble and powerful, and they are meeting you in that place of emotional, spiritual maturity. Okay, we're not looking to co-create with people that are just in spiritual diapers. You deserve to be working with people that are spiritually mature and lifting you up just as much as you're lifting up others. Okay, so I'm really feeling the whales coming in right now, which again makes me pretty emotional. I don't really talk about how much I love the whales or the elephants out loud too much because I always get a little emotional when that happens. Okay. Oh. So the spirit of the whales. In particular, I'm feeling the blue whales, which are the largest whales on the planet. But I'm also feeling humpback whales. I'm feeling the orcas. Of course, dolphins aren't whales. Actually, orcas aren't even whales. They're actually part of the dolphin family. But all the different forms of whales, as well as the orca dolphin families, they're all singing and clicking. And I'm seeing them swimming in an ocean of light. And they're saying that this is what they do to maintain the oceans of this world. They don't experience water the way we experience water. They actually experience water as light. And a big part of the ocean's relationship with these beautiful beings that live underwater, it's a very symbiotic relationship with the ocean, because they anchor the light from other star systems here to keep Sophia Gaia strong as she is navigating lower level frequency species that are allowed to come and learn from her grace here on this planet. Like some of the really weird entity species that are here that are influencing some of the decisions humanity is making. They hold the balance. What I'm hearing from them, angels, is that they'd like for us to join together in our consciousness with them right now and to push back on a lot of the sonar testing that's happening within the oceans. There's so much happening with microwave currents of different frequencies that haven't been used on this planet ever, that are that they're working every day to keep in balance. But as so many of us see, with so many different species washing up on the shores dead, there's a war going on under the ocean. And so they're asking you to join with them in their light and to push back those waves from their babies. They're saying, okay. So invite you, earth angels, to join me and send every ray of light that you would like to send into the oceans, to the whales, to the dolphins. And they're blessing you as we're blessing them. And I'm seeing Archangel Michael come in as well with green Tara and the Dakinis. Let's vacuum out the ocean of those frequencies and see those frequencies being rendered harmless and sent up back to Sophia's source light, which is then dissolved. So we're purging the ocean. And let's purge the ocean of the energetic imprint of the plastics. Just for the sake of using the power of our imagination, let's visualize a vacuum cleaner, a black hole vacuum cleaner that just starts sucking all the plastic out of the ocean. And as we do, let's just take a moment to visualize the ocean as it once was. Crystalline clear, singing with the harmonics of the angels. All beings swimming so joyously and so free and so empowered within these waters. Bringing a deep sense of peace to our guardian angels that live within the ocean. An assurance that we are connected and we do see them as sentient beings of the highest order. There are several countries that have banned dolphins and whales from being held in captivity because they recognize that their brain structure is so advanced that it is inhumane. I would venture to say they're actually more advanced, but that's just my personal That's not saying it's true in one way or another. It's just how I personally feel. A being that can shut off one side of its brain while working the other side, which is what dolphins do. They can operate the right and left hemispheres of their brains independently. I think that's pretty darn advanced. And what the whales and the dolphins are sharing with me is, as we join them in this cleansing and blessing of the ocean, they are teaching you how to cleanse and bless your own children and the children of this world from these microwave radiations. As we all know, 5G has been rolled out in 6 major cities in the United States as of this last year, and the plan is for that to be rolled out across the United States as well as the entire planet over the next year. And none of this technology has actually been tested for how harmful it is to human DNA. So they're asking us to see to vacuum out these microwave radiations from the planet, see those same radiations going up into the black hole energetically, with all of the angels and all of the animals singing those and just visualizing these towers that are transmitting these very terrible radiation rendered harmless. I was listening to a podcast the other night, and it was saying that so much of what we have that we need for our current globally connected world with the internet, all of these things could be done in a way that actually doesn't harm humanity at all. It's just a matter of these corporate entities investing in technologies done right, the way it could be actually a benefit for our DNA and for our physical bodies, not toxifying our bodies and the entire planet. So I'm seeing the spirit of eagle, the spirit of crane, and all of the winged ones surrounding us and blessing our consciousness, that because they're connected to the element of air, initiating our consciousness that when we focus upon what we want, which is truly clean technologies on this planet, to continue to support our communications with one another, but are harmless to our physical bodies. This can happen. We continue to focus upon what we want, and to advocate for what we want, and to pray for what we want, and to visualize what we want. I think I see another 5G tower going up every single day wherever I travel. It's unbelievable how fast they're building them. So what do? I visualize them disappearing. I visualize the earth as I once knew it. I visualize humanity waking up and accepting that we are far more intelligent than this plan of global annihilation. We carry the intelligence of Sophia, God, within us, which knows how to create the same level of connection, evolution, technological advancement, and have it be a healthy experience. All the star nations have it. There's no reasons why we can't have it ourselves. They're just waiting for us to become that level of a co-creator of heaven on earth. When we finally wake up and realize, oh, it's part of my responsibility to visualize what I want. I invite you over these next months, days and months for the remainder of 2019. 2020 is going to be huge. So every thought counts this year. Part of understanding what you want is being educated as to how much is being unfolded for a global plan of annihilation. Once you understand what's happening, then you can understand that, oh, well, this is what I really want, and this is what I'm really going to pray for. I'm going to pray for clean skies again. There were hundreds of birds and bats that have fallen out of the sky over the past year from the radiation and the chemtrails in the air. Let's visualize right now thousands upon thousands of birds breathing fresh, clean air again. Their wings soaring in the sky. Eagles climbing to the sun again as guardians of our planet and of our leadership. Let's see baby hawks growing up strong in their nests and taking flight as messengers of the divine. Let's see songbirds singing in the tropics again, getting fat on all the insects that have returned to our planet, because we became really good stewards of this planet again. Let's see those who have been so playing this really dark role of perpetrators against humanity, against all species, and against this planet. Let's see them either banished from this planet or their hearts opening to the understanding that if this ship goes down, they go down as well. Hello. And their hearts opening, even if it's through a selfish ego structure, simply for self-preservation, opening to the idea that when one wins, everyone wins. When everything is done through the beauty way, through a good way, through the honoring of life. And let us collectively join with all of the animals that are present here and surrender our need to grow and evolve and remember to become spiritually mature through this kind of oppression. Ultimately, this oppression is guiding us to become very mature spiritual beings, to become very sober and clear about our missions as earth angels. But the hitch in that is that your earth angel mission goes beyond fighting against a dualistic war. Your earth angel mission involves you laying down any unconscious belief systems that you need to learn how bright your light is from the oppression that's happening here. And I've talked about this in many prayer calls and in many Facebook Lives. I'm going to continue to talk about it because we can't talk about it enough. If there's anything that's keeping these structures in place, it's our karmic attachment to learning through pain and suffering and oppression to discover our greatest light. We've all had that moment where our ego structures created such a deep wounding that all of a sudden you woke up to some kind of addiction to suffering or a pattern of self-sabotage that you couldn't see until that moment of that oppression bringing you to that breaking point. Breaks your heart open. Like, oh my God, I get it. I have to become my own ally now. Well, this is what we're doing on a collective level. And Green Tara is blessing each and every heart that's here live and on this for this live broadcast and on the replay. Open your heart to Green Tara's grace, blessing you to now become that golden dragon way shower, that master teacher of what it means to create heaven and earth beyond the oppression of what's happening here, activating you, inspiring you into action. Flipping on all your switches. It's like, the perfect example would be people who get really excited about changing the health of their body because they end up getting cancer, or there's a certain level of obesity or toxicity that finally there's just no other way to live other than turning 180 degrees around and beginning the journey of health. Let's not get it to the place of extreme illness or even to death before we wake up to the truth that our divine inheritance is life. Radical, fierce, passionate life. Both Hathor and Mother Mary in their teachings in the Sophia Code talk about that you and I were designed to live in the ecstasy of life. So together with our, and there's no one that embodies that more than the animals. I mean, oh my gosh, when they feel good, everyone feels good because they embody the feeling good in every cell of their body. And then it just transmits out in every direction. So I'm calling in the spirit of horse now, seeing the spirit of many horses arriving. Just like in Black Elk's vision. From Black Elk Speaks, when he saw all the thunder beings from the 4 directions, all the different colors of the horses arriving. And I'm seeing White Buffalo Woman and the White Buffalo Nation arriving with these beautiful horses. And they're blessing your consciousness. Horse medicine is one of the highest earth medicines that you can work with. And they're blessing your consciousness in 2019 to thrive, to have stamina, to focus on your divine right to thrive this year, to choose choices that honor you, honor your body, honor your emotions, honor your bank accounts, honor your creativity, and to feel the power of the musculature of the horses around you, raising that frequency within your body, to choose strength in your body, to bless all of your physical practices, and to see how much these animal medicines are here to support you in your physical practices. And the white buffalo are here to bless your prayer practices. They're saying your choice to command miracles, your choice to be in prayer this year is when you call them in and you pray with these animals allies side by side with you across the heart waves, your prayers, they say they are promising right now that they will amplify your prayers 1,000-fold and beyond. They're so invested themselves in the liberation of this planet. And in the old ways, when you pray with the Chanupa, everything that is packed into the prayer of that Chanupa pipe, every single herb is prayed and invoked, all of the directions and all of the animal spirits, all of our relations go into that pipe. If you go back and read the teachings about the pipe in White Buffalo Woman's chapter, I mean, talk about the epitome, the heart of the ethos of Christ consciousness, the interstellar mission of Sophia Christ consciousness. It is the praying with all beings for the liberation and happiness of all beings. That prayer was never just meant with the ancestors and the tribe, the people. They were praying with every element of the earth, all species, Father Sky and Mother Earth, star nations, everything went into that pipe before it was lit for the prayer. And they're inviting you to embody the principles of that in 2019. And you may begin to feel every cell of your body responding to that prayer that the buffalo and these horse spirits, these thunder beings are praying over you, blessing you, guiding you, reminding you that the more you pray and the more you are inside your body as a part of that prayer, the more powerful you become this year. As a way shower, as an earth angel, as an embodiment of your higher self and of Sophia Christ consciousness. Ultimately, all of that is just to say of source, that one source light that created you and I. Holy Mother, Holy Father God, we give thanks for this opportunity to pray with all of our relations, all of the masters, all of the angels, all of the archangels, all of these incredible, wonderful species, both named and unnamed, all of the directions, all of the devas, all of the beings of inner earth. We truly are an interstellar family of light, blessed with so many relations. There are too many to name and too many to count, who we are working with very often unconsciously in our Earth Angel mission. We give thanks that in tonight's prayer live broadcast and in this replay, we are reconnecting with our conscious awareness that we are praying with all of these beings all of the time. That our one family of light is being unified through this ascension journey, and that we came here to be the brightest light amidst the darkest of times. Holy Mother Sophia, Holy Mother, Holy Father God, thank you for freeing us from any obligations, contracts, or vows that we have taken to brighten our light by being oppressed ourselves. We lay down that path of suffering, of martyrhood, and we take up the path of true Sophia Christ, Buddha consciousness. That is remembering we are choosing as the Sophia Dragon Tribe, Sophia Code community, our international community of light. We take this stand together here and now in 2019, that we are here to remember about the truth of our sovereign divinity, through your light, through your prosperity, through your abundance consciousness, through your loving consciousness, through your supportive consciousness, through your consciousness of peace, through your consciousness of thousands upon thousands of angel wings lifting us up in every moment of every day, bringing us back to the remembrance of how held we are, how supported we are in our journey to be way showers of that same support, of that same truth, of that same light for countless beings here on this planet that don't even know who they are. Thank you that you didn't send us on this mission alone, that you sent us with too many other angels to even count on this journey that we are all connected to right now, here through this prayer that is praying us. We give thanks for all of the Ascended Masters. We give thanks for the ceremony. We give thanks to all of the very proud spirits of these animal nations that are praying this prayer with us. And we call forth your Sophia Christ light, Holy Mother, Holy Father God, to bless all beings on this planet, named and unnamed, but on the surface of this earth, as well as within the center of this earth and the stratosphere above, that we may not be able to see all creatures, all beings that are working tirelessly for this planet's ascension. Thank you for blessing Sophia Gaia. Oh, bless her. Bless this beautiful earth. Bless every bit of her. Oh, how we adore her. Bless every animal species. For those species that have traveled the red road, traveled on that blue road to the other side of extinction, we bless their souls, purpose for the time that they lived here. And we bless their consciousness as a part of our medicine that is guiding us. And we ask that for those species that are struggling to continue forward in all of their strength, Sophia God, wash them over with your strength. Awaken all of the humans around them that can help them and support them. Please bless every animal advocate and activist around the world. Thank you for all of those very brave and heroic individuals that are actively every day working for the healing and empowerment of species, domestic and wild, all over this planet. Thank you for all of the activists and advocates all over the world who tirelessly work for saving the ecosystems of this planet. Thank you, Sophia, that you have not abandoned us, that you are ever present within us and all around us, guiding us as the unconditionally loving Holy Mother and Holy Father that you are, to our full-blown awakening as a species, to come into alignment with a divine will, your divine will, that seeks for us to live in peace and prosperity on this earth. Thank you for ordaining us as that first wave light workers here on this leading edge of this movement, shining our light. Please bless us in every way, abundantly in 2019. We welcome your blessings. We wholeheartedly surrender our small ideas about ourselves. And as the beautiful Jaguar opened us up tonight, to take pride in who we are, we call forth your Holy Spirit descending as a Shekinah light over each and every one of us, sealing this transmission within our own souls, on all four levels of our being: our physical being, our emotional being, our mental bodies, and our spiritual causal bodies, to walk with confidence in the coming days and weeks as we integrate how connected we are and how powerful we are as wayshowers, and that we can take pride in this as earth angels, in who we are and why we came here. And so it is. Amen. Aho. Thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for joining me this evening in prayer. As always, it's such an honor to come together with you. I love each of you so much. Thank you from my heart to yours for all of your support of the Sophia Code movement, for sharing the good news of this transmission with others who are ready to receive it. And for those of you who want to join me with some new Earth Angel teachings that I'll be offering at Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles, I'll be live at the LAX Hilton this Friday, the 22nd of February at 8 p.m. Our beautiful Divine Feminine leader, Marianne Williamson, will be speaking at 6 p.m. That same evening. It's going to be a powerhouse night for the Divine Feminine. And if you can't join us in person, there's also a live stream available for you. So If you'd like to learn more about that, you can reach out to email one of our team angels at my website, kaiara.com, KAIARA.com. And I just want to say, yeah, thank you again. God, I feel so uplifted myself right now to have prayed with each of you tonight. Thank you for being such a part of the fabric of why I get up every morning, because we are doing this together. It brings me so much hope. I love you all so much. Have a blessed and beautiful night. Good night.